think this is a call of the Spirit.
A dying Milwaukee priest takes a radical stand calling for the ordination of women. It's a stand against Catholic Church teaching that only men can be priests.
Now only on 12 News, Joyce Garbasiak reports on the videotape he left behind and his impassioned plea for change in the church.
I'm torn.
From a hospital bed, in a voice softened by age, a Roman Catholic priest makes a stunning revelation.
You believe women are called to be priests?
The reading, yes.
By saying such a thing, Father Bill Brennan is going against church teaching. In his 63 years as a priest, Brennan protested for civil and human rights. But when he backed his belief in women priests by saying Mass with someone who said she had been ordained, the church punished him because according to church catechism, only a baptized man receives sacred ordination.
He was forbidden from attending any public liturgies of any kind. He was forbidden from talking to the press. He was forbidden from writing anything about his position.
Alice Iaquinta knew Brennan well.
He had this deep, abiding passion for women's equality, politically and theologically. Blessed are you, God of all creation. Through your goodness,
Iaquinta herself has been ordained through an organization known as Roman Catholic Women Priests. She says Mass weekly at this Wauwatosa church, even though those who worship here fear being kicked out of the Catholic Church for supporting the idea of women priests.
Oh, Bill was just an inspiration. And he felt that it was just unjust, and it was pure sexism and discrimination to eliminate the possibility of even talking about women's ordination.
Father Brennan was a member of the Jesuit order, and a spokesman told us Brennan knew the result of his action. He says he was not forbidden from attending public worship, but could not administer the sacraments, preside at Mass, or present himself publicly as a priest. In the last years of his life, Brennan served out his punishment, never speaking publicly about women's ordination again. But as his death neared, he asked Iaquinta for a favor.
He could not, in conscience, leave this earth without publicly saying what he believed.
He asked Iaquinta to record his beliefs about women's ordination on camera on the condition she released the video after he died.
But wait until the funeral's over, because otherwise they might not bury me in a Catholic cemetery or let me have a Catholic funeral.
Bill Brennan died at the age of 94 last year, and Iaquinta decided now is the time to release the video.
I don't see my position as a defiant position of authority in my attitude. I just see this as my conscience.
Brennan says he's torn between supporting women's ordination and his duty of obedience to the authorities of the Catholic Church, but he wanted to go on record following his conscience.
I wish to be remembered as one who's basically pleading for equality of women in administrative and spiritual functions of Holy Catholic Church. I think this is a call of the Spirit.
Going on the record from beyond the grave. 12 News asked for on-camera interviews from both the Jesuits and the Archdiocese of Milwaukee, as it was a mutual decision to sanction Father Brennan in 2012. Both declined. We also offered the Jesuits an opportunity to view the videos before this story aired. They declined that as well. The spokesman did say Father Brennan's concerns about not being allowed burial in a Catholic cemetery because of his views are not valid. He did ask us to include this statement. Father Bill Brennan's views are his own. They do not attempt to speak on behalf of or express the views of his religious community, the Society of Jesus. The 3 video clips Father Brennan recorded run about 10 minutes. If you'd like to see them in their entirety, head to our website, WISN.com.